Hi everyone and welcome to another power-packed edition of Realty Talk. Great to have you with us this evening. For daily market insights, behind-the-scenes content, and event highlights, follow at ERA Singapore on all platforms now. If you're not an ERA VIP yet, now's your chance. Enjoy front row access to exclusive seminars, early insights, and monthly lucky draw where 10 winners walk away with $1,000 in travel dollars. Planning your next move? Investor and Realtor Masterclass helps you decode the market and make confident future-ready investment decisions. Stay sharp with our data-backed insights and timely market analysis, written for agents and investors who want the full picture fast. Before we begin, please note the following disclaimer. While every effort has been made to ensure the accuracy of the information shared today, ERA accepts no responsibility for any loss or inconvenience caused by errors or omissions. The insights, opinions, and examples presented are for informational and educational purposes only. As the property market is dynamic, we strongly encourage you to consult a trusted ERA advisor before making any property-related decisions. Now, let's get into tonight's session. As Singapore continues its urban evolution, one question stands out. Where are the next growth corridors forming and how can you position yourself ahead of the curve? Tonight, we are joined by two of the sharpest minds in real estate, Mr. Marcus Chu, CEO of ERA Singapore, ERA Asia Pacific and APAC Realty, and Mr. Eugene Lim, our Key Executive Officer. Together, they will unpack the biggest takeaways from the first half of 2025, breaking down the latest GLS launches, planning updates from Master Plan 2025, and what it all means for investors like you. Let's find out because the future of Singapore's urban landscape is unfolding right now.
Hello everyone, welcome to another segment of Realty Talk with CEO Marcus Chu. Hello Marcus, welcome to the show.
Hello everyone. Today in Realty Talk, we will be uncovering the next wave of growth in the Singapore property market.
We have a super agenda for you. Let me quickly run through the 5 things that we will be covering today. Firstly, we'll do a market update to update you on the latest statistics. Then we'll look at the key drivers of the Singapore property market. Following that, we will look at the upcoming government land sale sites is in the second half of 2025. Then, of course, we'll delve into the draft master plan, which was recently unveiled by the government. And then we will also be looking at the revised seller stamp duty holding period and how it impacts you and me.
So, let's look at the 2Q 2025 property market data. Yes, the market bottoms up, Eugene.
Yes. So let's look at some key statistics. If we look at this, you'll see that property prices have generally grown at a slower pace, largely because we find that there is a slowdown in the number of launches, and that led to the pace of growth has slowed down. But this is not expected to remain
So it is
for
still
long.
growing,
Yes.
but at a slower pace.
That's right.
So 2Q 2025 for public housing HDB resale, the growth is 0.9%. For non-landed condo, the quarter-to-quarter growth is 0.5%. And for landed, is 0.7%.
That's right.
Okay, so if we were to compare this to 3 years ago, in Q2 2022, the rates of growth for public housing back then is 2.8. Condos, 3.6. Landed, 2.9. And if we compare that till now, definitely we are at a slower pace.
That's right. But things may not be like this for long.
Okay,
right?
Let's take a look at the private residential price, Eugene.
In the last 3 years, private residential prices were growing at a similar pace. And maybe Marcus, you can tell us why is driving this non-landed pricing in the last 3
You
years.
say non-landed pricing means condo and apartment. It is divided into 2 categories, the new launch, which is the new sales price, and also the resale price. Okay, as we all know, there is disparity in new launch price and resale price, and of course, new launch price is always higher than resale price. And new launch typically it's in different region, okay, whether it's in CCR, RCR, and OCR. And we also witnessed that there are more launches in OCR. Over the past quarter, I would say that there is lack of new launch and therefore no new benchmark price set. Why do we say that? Because usually when there is a new launch, there is a new price level.
That's right.
So it's a notch up the previous new launch price.
Yes.
Why? Because land cost has been increasing, and usually the developer will price according to the cost of construction and also land cost.
That's right.
So if this is increasing, the future new launches will also increase
That's right.
in terms of pricing. So that's why it is always setting new benchmark prices. But then in 2025, as we are expecting to see more CCRA launches, we think that this will drive home price to another benchmark price. Okay. Let's talk about the private residential transaction,
Yes.
all right, instead of price.
It may seem that private residential transactions has so-called declined compared to previous periods. However, it is important not to misunderstand this statistic that the market is slowing down.
Sure. Decline like by how much?
It's declined by over 40%. So
40% is quarter to quarter.
Yes.
So it's
quarter.
like first quarter for new sales is 3,003, second quarter is 1,001.
Yeah.
And as for resale, first quarter is 3,009, second quarter is 3,001.
Yes.
That makes a total of 7,002, and second quarter is 4,002.
Yes.
So there is a drop of minus 41%.
Yes. This is primarily due to the lack of new launches. But again, this may all change if all the new launches and upcoming launches in the second half of the year remain on schedule. Then our projection for the whole year will be about 23 to 26,000 in all private properties.
Right.
And 21 to 23,000 non-landed. This will include 21 to 23,000 non-landed.
Okay, so as you can see, over the last weekend, there was a launch called Linden Woods,
That's right.
and the take-up rate was fantastic.
Yes, 95% sold.
Almost
in the launch,
95% sold. And as you can see, because of the strong underlying demands for non-landed new launches, all right, that means that actually the demands is waiting on the side.
Correct.
And whenever there is a new launch, there is strong take-up rates.
Yes. I think primarily what's driving the market today is really genuine home buyers who are buying for owner occupation and investment. Very little, if not zero, speculation.
Okay, but the aspiration of most Singaporean is that they want to own a landed property.
Yes, that's
Okay.
right. So,
in fact, yesterday I was talking to one of our team leaders who is upgrading from one landed to another landed property.
I see.
And at the same time, I also spoke to a banker she is also thinking of selling away her 2 condos and upgrade to a landed property.
So is it the right time to upgrade to landed?
Well, they asked me the same question too.
Yeah.
So what's your view?
Well, I think that for landed properties, it is a limited stock. If demand remains resilient, as we are seeing now, there's quite a lot of demand resilient, then the demand pushing up prices, right, eventually. And so therefore, I think this window of opportunity that's available now, that we see people who are upgrading because prices seemingly have stabilized, it's a good window of opportunity to upgrade to landed.
Okay, actually that is on the demand side. But how about on the supply side? Is there a lot of landed supply there in the market?
I think for landed supply, we have to always remember that the government does not sell land for landed housing, right? All the government land sales site is for condominiums and apartments. So it is very limited stock.
Right, so it depends whether there is seller of landed property
Correct.
that is of choice for the buyer.
Yes.
So if whatever there is in the market now, there is limited stocks, you got not much choice.
Yes.
All right, which means that when supply is low, demand is high,
The prices will go up.
Yes, as a matter of fact, but looks like recently the prices have actually stabilized, which actually offer windows of opportunity.
That's right.
Okay, but we also noticed that there are some older landed homes which owner wants to downsize.
Yes.
Okay, it's putting their landed homes for sales.
Yes. So recently in our new launches, we also see quite a number of buyers who came from landed properties.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Quite a handful of them want to right size.
Yes.
To
This is called right
private condo.
sizing. Yeah. So they actually feel that the landed home could be too big for their current needs, and then they cash out, they sell away and take profit to buy an apartment or condo.
Right. This could be a trend.
Yes.
In fact, the boomers may be right sizing, and then the millennials will come in to take up the landed properties.
Correct.
Okay, let's move on to HDB resale.
Okay, let me explain the HDB resale numbers. So for HDB prices and transactions, they have been rising, but recent statistics indicate that prices are more or less stable. They're rising quite moderately. I think largely because HDB has been very active. They've been injecting a lot of new supply in the form of BTO and sale of balance flats into the market. And also, I think the current demand remains relatively stable. Yeah.
Okay. So what
let's
about
look at
$1 million flats?
Yeah, $1 million flats. This has always been increasing. It's obviously when there are $1 million flat transactions, they grab the headline. But bear in mind that these remain the minority of the transactions. So proportionately nowadays, the number of $1 million flats is about 6% of total transactions.
Okay.
So while some people say it has increased, it is still the super minority. I think majority of the HDB flats are still below $1 million.
Yeah, and it's still very affordable to the general public.
Yes.
Okay. Having said that, Singapore is like a very unique place for property ownership.
That's right.
In fact, more than 90% of the residents here owns property.
That's right.
Okay, so ownership is very strong. Let's dive into the key drivers of Singapore property market.
Okay. So let's look at the first driver. All right.
We're going to talk about three key drivers.
Three drivers. So the first driver is the economic fundamentals and governments. I think this is the basic foundation of any property market. It always has to be closely linked with the economy. And so if we look at household income, right, which is an indication, an indicator of the state of the economy and the wealth. Household incomes have increased steadily over the past 10 years.
Right.
And especially post-COVID, we see a more significant increase in the household income post-COVID period.
Post-COVID means from 2021 to 2022 and onwards.
Yes.
Okay,
right.
So the chart over here shows us that over the last 10 years, the household income rise from 11,510 to 14,542. And it means that on average, based on the monthly employed household income, is not eligible to apply for BTO flats.
Correct. They already exceeded the 14,000 income ceiling.
So they have the average household, if they want to do upgrading or a property purchase, they will not be able to, they are not eligible to apply for BTO flats, but they can still buy HDB resale flat.
Correct.
Where the demands comes from, on average household, and also resale condo, and also new launch condos.
Yes, that's right.
And even landed properties.
So we have a steady stream of actually upgraders, right, that's coming from these higher income household families.
Okay, having said that, rising household income is a good thing, but how do our countries and governments able to ensure this?
Okay, so in order to ensure this, our government takes a very proactive step to ensure a business-friendly environment,
right,
and to attract foreign investments. So foreign investments in Singapore are known as FDIs, foreign direct investments.
So in short, FDI.
Yes. So FDI is a indicator of essentially the confidence in our country. So when FDI, that means foreign governments, foreign companies that invest, put their money in Singapore to build companies, to set up businesses, they are an indicator of the confidence in our country.
Right. So in short, it is actually an investor from one country investing in a business or enterprise in another country.
That's right.
So with the goal of establishing lasting interest and significant influence in the management of that enterprise in Singapore.
Yes. So these numbers have what we call a multiplier effect. Essentially, it means more businesses are being set up in Singapore,
which is a significant driver for economic growth.
That's right.
And development for both investor and the host country, which is Singapore.
Yeah. So let's move on to the Singapore budget. So our government is also very committed to ensure that a steady stream of good jobs and higher paying jobs remain increased for all Singaporeans. So they have made a commitment. I think every year at budget we watch this very closely, and they also commit, right, that they will create even more and better opportunities for everyone.
Yep. So when there's more foreign investment coming into Singapore, there are more jobs created.
Correct.
And there are better jobs creations.
Yes.
And that ensure the increasing household income.
That's right.
Which will give confidence to Singapore property market.
That's right.
Okay. How about the economy of Singapore?
So economy, despite all these headwinds, there is what we are seeing around us, Singapore economy is still growing. In fact, the MTI recently forecasted the growth in 2025 will be up to 2%.
Right. So in relative to the growth over the last 10 years, all right, 2% is like a very moderate growth in today's very challenging tariff environment.
Yes.
So I would say that over the last 10 years, only during COVID time that there is a recession. That is in year 2020, where GDP actually is in negative 3.8%. Whereas for over the last decade, we're always above water.
Yes. So we have to look at Singapore as a mature economy.
Right.
So therefore, despite headwinds, we can grow at 2%. It's quite a decent movement going forward.
Okay, so as we are saying, this is the first key driver of Singapore property market, which is driven by rising household income and also the Singapore growing economy.
Yes.
So we put that into perspective, into a chart,
Yeah.
all right? What we are showing you is that the Singapore property price growth is in proportion to the rising household income.
That's right.
And also growing economy.
Yes.
So over the last almost 10 years here, okay, only during COVID time, the economy is down. But even the economy is down, Singapore property prices are still growing.
That's right.
Okay, so as long as there's good jobs, and as long as there's good governance, and as long as there is increasing foreign direct investments, there is increasing household income,
Yes.
and also growing economy, then Singapore property market will continue to thrive. Okay.
I think also this slide is very interesting. I think recently the Chief Investment Officer of Temasek Holdings, he shared his outlook that actually the worst of the headwinds are over. He's actually quite optimistic going forward.
So the Chief Investment Officer actually help us make a lot of money.
Yes. Yeah.
And most recently, they have announced their profit that Temasek have made. And of course, when the Chief Investment Officer talk, all of us have to listen.
Yes.
Okay? They said the worst of the headwinds are now probably behind us.
Yes.
Actually, what is the headwind?
Caused by, I think, the fears driven by tariff, right, and also protectionist policies.
Yep.
Yeah. So I think he's also of the opinion that things are moving forward. Momentum is already back.
Momentum and spending of company.
And that's important. That's an important barometer of the confidence level in Singapore and Singapore's economy.
Hey, but what if the economies actually turn the other way and go negative because of tariff?
I think in Singapore, we always have this safety net. Right? The government will take proactive steps to mitigate any negative impact.
All right. So something that we learn is government always have a plan, and that is task force.
Yes, task force.
Right. Recently, the government took the proactive step, all right, to set up a new task force.
Yes.
That comprises of the economic agencies and the Singapore Business Federation, NTUC.
That's right.
All right. Why this task force? To help businesses and workers across the immediate uncertainty caused by the Trump tariff.
Yes.
Okay. And what is the immediate announcement?
I think this was very, very recent.
Very recent, yeah, just a few days ago.
So just a few days ago, so government announced that the first set of grants will be for affected businesses affected by tariffs, and those affected businesses can get up to 100,000. With the SMEs, the small medium enterprises, where the bulk of the Singaporeans are employed, right, getting a higher proportion.
So as you can see, the government is very proactive to protect SME.
Yes.
All right. So if any of our business suffers, this will actually escalate to the employees suffering from job loss.
That's right.
So to prevent this, All right, government want to save SME. So if you guys sitting out there listening to us, if you're SME, good news to you.
Yes.
There is a grant of up to 100,000 if your business are affected by Trump
Yes.
tariffs.
And this is only the first, probably of many. And so the government is very well prepared.
You know, we are so lucky to be in Singapore.
That's right.
Actually, ERA is spread across 12 other countries besides Singapore in Asia Pacific. And from my experience with all the Asia Pacific countries, Singapore government is the best.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
And a bit different about Singapore is that we have a very active property market, all right, which consists of new launches and also the resale market. Unlike other countries, right, this is something that is so different because in other countries they probably don't have
They don't have an active resale market. Yes, it's only on the new launch market, and it's highly speculative.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and as a matter of fact, if you have invested in foreign countries, you find it very difficult to resell your properties.
That's right.
Yeah, but in Singapore, you can always resell your property and recycle your assets. All right, and upgrade, and from your current assets, you upgrade to a bigger assets.
That's right.
Okay, so
Let's look at the
Second
next
key driver.
which is the rising demand for housing.
okay, so we're going to talk about demand
Yes.
for housing. So where the demand come from?
So demand comes from population, right? And so firstly, let's look at some interesting numbers. So on the average, there are more than 22,000 citizenships granted per year over the last 5 years. Average, this is the average number per year for the last 5 years. 22,000 citizenships, and at the same time, 32,000 were granted PR status. So all in all, there are 55,000 persons per year that is so-called added to the population of Singapore.
Right. So total citizenship granted per year is as high as 23,000.
That's right.
Wow. Let's face it, we are aging populations, and the growth rate in Singapore is below 1.
Yes.
So if this goes on, in the near future, all right, don't have to say about it in long term, in the near future, we will see more retirees as compared to the working population. So
that's not good.
that's not good for our economy. But because there are new citizens, and there is also new permanent residents that are granted, which makes up to more than 50,000 citizen and SPR.
That's right.
Every single year.
Yes.
Okay, so in totality, do you remember the Singapore population white paper?
Yes, about the 6.5 to 6.9 million, right?
Yeah, but I think it's 6.5 million by the year
we are
2030.
right now around 6 million, right? So I think
to be exact, 6.04 million.
Yeah, 6.04 million. So I think realistically by 2030 we could be around 6.5,
which is about 500,000 new populations number in 5 years.
Yes.
So every single year is about
this takes into account
100K.
the natural birth as well as the ones that is so-called new citizens.
Yeah. So early on slides we show that every year is about 50,000.
Yeah.
Which means the other 50,000 is come from natural birth.
Correct.
Okay. So I mean the citizen birth. So adds up together 100K.
Yeah.
So is it not a realistic number?
I think it's probably doable.
It's
right?
definitely. I mean, if you look at pre-COVID and after COVID, the population numbers actually increased from 5.7 to 6 million. And that was a 300,000 increase over that 3 years COVID period. Yeah. And which means every year is about 100K.
So if you follow the same straight line projection, then we would be around 6.5 mil.
So if every household is about 3%, all right, for 100,000 increase in population, how many units of homes is needed?
Well, simple mathematics, 33,000, right? 100,000 divided by 3, you need...
Are there 33,000 new supply every year?
Not exactly. Right.
Okay, later on we look at the supply,
exactly.
which is also the key driver to manage this rising demand.
That's right.
Okay, but at the same time, let's talk about population growth, how it means to property demand and price. Like I said, there is a demand for housing, genuine demand. So if it's 100,000 increase in population per year, means that every year you need about 33,000.
Yes.
Okay, so for that, if there is demand, there is price
Yes.
support. So which means over the medium term, price will still continue to
increase.
will still
So this
continue to
is
increase. Yes.
the projection based on the historical trend that we see in this chart. So numbers don't lie. It shows us that as population increases, therefore the demand for housing increases, and therefore prices will therefore increase.
Okay. Actually, I'm more interested to also know that there is a rising number of millionaires that is coming over to
Yes.
Singapore.
So we seem to be a magnet for millionaires.
I guess we are attractive
Yeah.
to people who are affluent, all right? And these foreigners, they chose Singapore for one reason or the other. Mainly is for our safety and security.
Yes.
And a very stable governments,
Yes.
providing financial tax and also lifestyle, healthcare, and good standard of livings.
Yes.
So it really attracts affluent individuals to come to Singapore. So if you look at this heat map, this is the millionaire migration heat map in 2024 as produced by New World Wealth, all right, in the Hensley Private Wealth Migration Report. Okay, it shows you that the red color bubble is the countries where millionaire is moving out.
Yes.
So if you can see here, there are a lot of millionaire moving out from China, moving out from India, and moving out from UK. Okay, where do they go to?
Coming to this part of the world.
All right, they went to Canada,
Yeah.
3002. They went to US, they went to UAE, and they come to Singapore. And
Wow.
amazing is,
We are number
Singapore is only a
3.
small red dot,
Yes.
which is really very small as
Yeah.
compared to all these countries in UAE, Canada, and USA.
That's right.
Take for example USA, number of millionaire fleeing there is 3,008, but the migration of millionaire to Singapore is 3,005.
Wow. We're not that far behind,
That's
considering
right.
the size disparity between us and the US.
So it's very interesting that there are higher foreign direct investment, and there is also higher number of millionaires coming to Singapore.
That's right.
Okay, so does this give us the clue why there is seller stamp duty?
Obviously.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I think that foreigner comes to
Yeah.
Singapore who are millionaires, probably they have different culture and also probably they have different way of holding on to property.
That's right.
Or maybe they even speculate property.
Yeah.
So if they come to Singapore, we don't want them to speculate
Yes.
property. All
Yeah.
right. So this thing that is introduced called the higher seller stamp duty probably is to ensure genuine demand.
Yeah.
That means genuinely buy property to stay on mid to long term.
Yes. It's a very targeted approach, and it is basically targeted at those who buy and flip in the short term.
Okay, but
Yeah.
if we look closer to the seller stamp duty over the last 10 years,
Yeah.
all right, since 2011 to 2017, actually the holding period for SSD is 4 years.
Yeah.
So it's a revision
Right.
from what we used to have to now is back to 4 years.
Yes.
But in between, there was a 3 years holding period that was in 2017 to this year 2025.
That's right.
Okay, so it's nothing new. It's just a revision from 3 years to 4 years, back to 4 years again.
Yeah.
What's your view on this?
So
Is it because there's more short-term speculation over the last, the period when we introduced that 3 years?
by and large, if you look at the number of people who are short-term speculators, I don't think it is a big amount of people, big number of people. So I think basically it's just to so-called very targeted approach to so-called stop this group of people, make them hold a bit longer.
Okay,
to
but I
slow
know
down
a
the
lot of
pace.
my friends
Yeah.
and even our trusted advisors,
Yeah.
okay, they actually bought into new homes
Yes.
and properties over
Yeah.
the last few years. And some of them actually offload the property immediately after 3 full years,
Yes.
okay, to cash in or to take profit.
Yeah.
Okay, and there is indeed a rising number of people who sell away their properties after 3 years.
Yes.
And even for new homes, even before collection of your keys, you haven't seen that unit physically yet, you already sold it away. That's called sub-sale.
Yeah.
So are there increasing sub-sales over the last few years? There is a property that is sold after 3 years, but before completion of the property. So we dive into some data and then we try to find out whether there's indeed increasing number of sub-sale.
Yeah.
Okay, this is what we have found. For properties that is more than 3 years and up to 4 years, since the 3-year SSD has been introduced in 2017 all the way to first half this year, the percentage of transaction actually registered from 0.6% to 14.7%, which is quite a significant increase in terms of people selling property after 3 full years, before 4 years. So means there are more flipping. Okay, but if we look at the 4 years to 5 years, it is quite okay, from 10% to 12%. And if we look at those who sold away the property after 5 full years, it is from 88% to 72%. So this number drop actually brought forth the increase in people who sell after 3 full years. Okay, so I think this policy introduced is good because it will curb short-term speculator that could possibly spike property price, which is not a good thing. All right, over the longer term.
I think generally government likes to see property price increase, not by speculation, but progressively over time as economy improves
relative to the growth of the economy
and income.
And income, certainly. And it's not by speculation. Okay, you know what? This actually provides support for sustainable long-term growth in the Singapore property market. So, but another good news is, what does that mean to you if you were to hold longer for your property? Actually, it's a good thing, you know. Because from the statistics that we have obtained, if you have sold your property after 3 full years to up to 4 years, the average profit is about 267,000. However, if you sold your property more than 4 full years and up to 5 years, it's 318,000. And if you have sold your properties for more than 5 years later, you
make more money.
Are making $459,000 on average, which means the longer you hold your property, the higher the profit you have. Okay, but of course, if there is higher growth trajectory for the next property that you're going to upgrade to or buy, then you probably can think about recycling your real assets.
That's right.
But on the average, the longer you hold your property, the more profit that you will receive. Okay.
So let's look at interest rates now, Marcus. So what is your take on the housing interest rate?
I would say that the forward interest rate is declining. Okay, as evident by the Singapore 6-month T-bills rates. They are also coming down. Okay, currently the latest that we witness is the T-bills have actually came down to 1.79%.
Wow, that's very low.
Right, and it's still coming down. Okay, and declining T-bills actually signal a lower forward borrowing cost environment. Okay, currently SORA is at 2.05%. This is the compound SORA 3 months. All right, at this rate, you can actually price in that the forward interest rate is actually coming down, which means in no time the SORA will be below 2. Okay, which means the monthly servicing cost of owning property will come down. So it's actually good news moving forward. From here forward, just buy property because cost of borrowing
is coming down. Wow, that's good news, man.
Okay, now why? Because when interest rate is down, and every time when interest rate is down,
demand,
the growth rate is sharper. And every time when interest rate go up, the growth rate actually slow down. So over the last few years, you see the rates of growth, as we spoke about in the beginning of this seminar, the rate of growth actually slowed down, right? Because interest rate has been high.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's on the reverse. Interest rate is coming down. The rate of growth may accelerate again.
Yes.
Okay, and not only the rate of growth, it's also the number of transactions, which is the volume of transactions. As you can see, when interest rate is like all-time low, during COVID time, interest rate is like falling almost to zero. What happens to transaction? Transaction actually increase, right? But when interest rate increase, transaction actually drop. Now interest rate is falling. You know what? We project and forecast that the number of transactions will be as per what we predicted in the beginning of the year.
Yes.
All right.
Correct.
There is no change. That means the volume of transactions will be increasing.
Okay.
Okay, so we can summarize that falling mortgage interest rate equals to rising demands for property.
Yes.
Okay, so we have been talking about demand. So rising demand from increasing population, rising demand from falling interest rates. So what is the third key driver? It's time for us to talk about supply.
Yes. So supply is the third key driver. Government is very proactive in regulating the home supply to ensure that we have enough property.
Our government is certainly very forward-looking, and they actually plan beyond 10 years.
Yes, correct.
Probably even beyond 20 years or 30 years.
Yeah. So we have
maybe all the way to 50 years.
We have a very unique planning framework. All right, let's look at the next slide. So in the long term, we have a concept plan, or what we call the long-term plan. Right, we looks very far ahead.
40 to 50 years.
Yes, very, very far ahead. And then we translate these long-term strategies into our mid-term plan, which is essentially our master plan.
Right.
That we depend a lot upon.
Right, that's 10 to 15 years.
Yes, for our zoning and land use plan, right? So this will be ensuring 10 to 15 years. And then we have the short-term measures. The short-term measures will be translated from the master plan into our government land sales to ensure that there is sufficient land supply, and also for development control of the existing and addition and alteration of buildings in the market.
Right, so the department that is ensuring all this planning and development framework is?
This will be our central authority called the URA.
Right, and recently they have a draft master plan exhibition.
That's right, that's right.
So all of you guys, if you're watching this, you can actually go down to URA Sales Gallery to take a look at what is coming to Singapore.
I think that will help you to visualize what is coming on stream in the next 10 to 15 years, and that will help you to so-called plan ahead in your real estate journey.
In our next slide, we're going to talk about that short-term supply.
Okay, so short-term supply, this is ensured through the government land sales program. This is to ensure that there is sufficient land available. This is translated from our master plan.
Right, so it's correlated with master plan to ensure sufficient land is available.
Correct.
Let's take a look at the number of sales sites on the half-yearly basis. So it's always half-year.
Yes.
As you can see.
So there's a first half and a second half land sales program.
So land sales is always first half, second half, first half, second half, first half, second half. And recently we just have a second half that just came out.
Yes.
Number of sales site awarded is shown in the grey bar. As you can see, sales site means a land site that is sold to developer, and which means there is new launches that will be coming up in the near future. Like how long?
At least maybe in a year's time from the time from the developer gets the land.
So for example, these 4 sites that is sold in first half 2025, it will launch in sometime in first half 2026.
That's right.
The government land sales is to provide the supply in short term. Short term means in the next 6 months to a year.
Yes.
Okay, very good. So these are the specific location.
So these are the sites that were closed from January
first half
to
this
July.
Year.
Yeah,
right.
That's right.
And they are quite interesting.
Yeah.
Quite interesting site here. Okay, all the way January, there is Dairy Farm Walk, there is Tengah Garden Avenue, River Valley Green Puzzle B, Media Circle Puzzle A, BA Shaw, Lentor, and Media Circle Puzzle B. And in June, there is Lakeside Drive, Danian Road, and Chuan Grove. These are the most recent transacted location.
That's right.
Okay, so in April, we saw no bid for Media Circle Puzzle B. Then in June, we saw benchmark pricing for Lakeside, Danian, and also Chuan Grove. So very interesting. So there are certain areas that is hotly bid.
Yes.
And there are certain areas like no bids.
Yeah.
Why is it so?
I think
Eugene?
developers, when they bid for land, they have to look at the forward-looking demand and the growth story, right, in the area. Yeah.
Okay, but on average, the number of bids over the last half a year is about 4.5, which means we are not short of developer who are interested to increase on their land bank for developments. Okay, which is a good sign.
Yeah.
Okay, then let's look at the recent land bid and their corresponding future launch prices.
Yeah.
How about that?
So Marcus, the land tender prices seems to be holding up quite well. So should we buy now or later?
Okay, we take a look at the three regions.
Yeah.
Okay, so identify over here by the three color. First color is green color. Green color means in the legend is CCR. So this whole lot here is CCR. Okay, then we have the orange color is RCR. Okay, over here is RCR land parcel and OCR land parcel is here. Okay, obviously there is more OCR land parcel, okay, over the last few years. And the one inside the dotted box, okay, is the land site that is sold this year so far.
Oh.
Okay, so there are more OCR land site sold this year so far, which means in the next 1 year down the line, there is more OCR launch coming. Okay, so why is government launching so many land sites? Is there a reason for that, Eugene?
I think the general mood is to ensure that there's sufficient housing and there's a good selection in all areas that cater to the different market sectors.
Yeah, I certainly agree on what you say. It's like to cater for the rising needs for increase in population,
Yes.
and also to erase away FOMO.
Yes.
So you no need to chase for property because there are so many launches ahead. So there's no need for you to feel FOMO.
Yeah.
I think that is the objective of the authorities. Okay, but looking at the current land pricing, or as you can see, if you look closer, the land pricing of OCR is increasing. The land pricing of RCR is increasing. The land pricing of CCR is increasing. So what this means is the launch price of OCR is increasing, and the launch prices of RCR is increasing, CCR is increasing. So which means escalating land costs will means escalating property launch prices.
Correct.
In the near and midterm. I'm not talking about FOMO, but if you really need a home, when is the best time to?
I think you always should buy sooner rather than later.
It's now.
Yeah.
It's now. I mean, if you can buy yesterday, it's better.
Yes.
All right.
Those
The
that bought
sooner, the
yesterday, a few months ago, already make money.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we always advocate that it is not timing the market, it's timing the market. In a place like Singapore, land scarce Singapore, time in the market is certainly more important than timing the market. So this is the GLS site for second half 2025 for that near-term supply. Wow, quite a lot of plot here. There's altogether 10 land sites here that has just been introduced by URA. There is CCR as denoted by the red dot. RCR, green dots, and OCR, the orange dot. Okay, very interesting. We put some star here that we indicate in our views that these are the locations that is potentially high demand. Okay, which is sites like Bukit Timah Road off Newton MRT station that will be available for sales in August 2025, which is next month. And also Danyan Road, which is another plot in Danyan Road that will be available end of this year in December 2025. And also Kallang Avenue that will be available end of this year in December, 10 minutes walks to Kallang and Bendemeer MRT station.
Okay.
Very interesting. Would you like to share with us about the Draft Master Plan 2025?
Okay, so the Draft Master Plan.
We just went for that briefing from URA.
Correct. Just last week.
Okay.
Right? And so very interesting things that's coming up.
They tell us there's actually 6 new precincts, right, that is coming.
Correct. So a lot of new homes coming our way. If you look at the Draft Master Plan, more than 80,000 new homes are coming our way, both public as well as private new homes.
Right. So this 80,000 is coming from that 6 new precinct.
Yes, six
Okay.
new precincts.
Can you tell us where is this 6th location?
Okay, so there are 6 locations here. So if we look at the
Yeah, over here.
over
there's
here,
a green,
all
as
in the
denoted
green,
by the green
all
color.
in the green circles. So we
So on
start
the
from the
north
north,
is-
is Sembawang Shipyard. Then-
Sembawang Shipyard.
Yes.
It's a shipyard.
Yes, the shipyard is scheduled to move out soon, all right, and that vacates the space occupied by the shipyard, which will turn into
Okay.
very nice
Okay,
waterfront
later
housing.
on you will brief
Yeah.
us what is coming
What
up
it's gonna
in
look
Sembawang
like.
Shipyard and how what
Okay,
is it
so
gonna
we
look
go
like,
anti-clockwise. Then we have
Okay.
the Singapore, the former race course in
Premier to Sembawang
Kranji.
Shipyard.
Yeah, Kranji.
And that's where the horse racing
Yes,
used to be.
correct. So the land is going to be freed up for more residential housing.
Okay, now all about the next one is One
North
Dover.
area.
This
so,
is not the One North?
yes, existing there's One North
Yes.
and so there's a new district called Dover Medway.
So it's an extension.
Okay, the extension. Yeah.
Very good.
Then
Then,
we have Patterson,
okay, coming to city
and
center, there's Patterson and
Newton in
Newton.
the CCR area.
what's Patterson?
Patterson is just off Orchard Road, right? Yeah.
Just next to Orchard MRT
Orchard
station.
MRT station.
And that's right behind Ion Shopping Mall.
Yes.
There's a big plot of
So
land
again, very central
behind Ion
location.
Shopping Mall in Takashimaya.
Yes, that's right.
I see. Wow, that is very central
Yes,
location.
very, very central.
All right, there's also Newton, which
Yes,
is next to
so
Newton
the
MRT. Okay,
And then, of course, the much talked about Paya Lebar Air Base,
which
right?
is in Dufu.
Yes, the Defu area. So they are again going to be vacating the area, and that will free up a lot of land.
How soon all this thing will be coming?
I think
All these houses will be
progressively.
coming.
This is-
80,000 private
Yeah.
and public housing. How
So
soon?
this is planned for the next 10 to 15 years, right? So it's not
Eugene,
going to be.
How old will you be in
be-
10 to 15 years?
I'll be quite old by then.
Okay, you
Yeah.
guys make a guess?
Huh? Right.
Private,
Private.
PNC.
Right.
Okay, how about previously announced new housing precinct? These are all the places.
Yes, so we have to look at what has been recently announced, the 6 new precincts, in addition to these circles in pink, which will have been announced earlier on.
This also under the draft master plan
Correct,
2025,
correct.
but was announced last year.
Announced progressively leading up to the draft master
Okay,
plan.
in the north is
So Woodlands North.
okay.
Okay, then Yishun area, there's a Chencharu.
Yeah, we learned this new
new
this,
area.
this new term.
Yeah, then of course we have the
Chancharu
Lang-
means Yishun.
We have the Langtor and Upper Thomson.
Mhm.
Then of course the Tengah on the left, right? And then we also have Turf City. Further south, we have the Greater Southern Waterfront, which
Yeah,
is
much talk about Greater Water
Yeah,
Southern Front, the Marina
the
South,
South,
and
and then
also
Bay Shore.
Bay Shore.
Yeah, so all these are work in progress.
So if we combine this
Wow,
and the 6 new one,
wow.
it become like this.
So there's actually very comprehensive, good choice. And I think we also put in the existing new launches, upcoming new launches into these locations.
Over the years, we witnessed that whenever there is infrastructure change that brought about by URA master plan, when there is increased amenities, there is increased demographics, it will bring about capital gain.
That's right.
It will also bring about higher rent, okay, because there are more demand in a new estate that is created by the master plan.
Yes.
So if we dive into the next 10, 15 years, this is what is coming.
Yeah.
You know, this whole lot here that we are showing here is what is coming.
Yes.
But from now to 10, 15 years, actually, we can do something
Yes.
that can ride on
We can
this
ride on
wave,
this wave. Yeah.
which is titled in today Realty Talk, uncovering the next wave of growth. So the next wave of growth in the next 10 years are actually properties that is near to all these estates, all these new precincts and location.
Yes.
And these are opportunity.
Yes.
So in fact, we map up here that in the north region, there are upcoming new launches
Yeah.
that will benefit from this next wave, okay, which is the Canberra Crescent
Crescent
Residences. Then in the east region, we have the Artisan 8, northeast region. And in the city center, there is Promenade Peak and also
River
River Green Not forgetting, next to the Lentor area in Upper Thomson, there is Springleaf Residences. So there you are. These are all the upcoming opportunity.
Yes.
They're going to launch soon.
Yes.
Probably this is what our viewers here can benefit. And go and take a look at their show galleries. I think it's going to be very exciting.
That's right.
All right. Hey, Eugene, can you tell us
Okay.
about the
Bishan.
plans that is announced in the master plan?
Okay, so let me just quickly run through. So we're going to see a rejuvenated Bishan in the years to come. Bishan, as we know, is a sub-region center, and government has a lot of plans for it.
Bishan, I know Junction 8.
Correct. We're all familiar with Junction 8 because we grew up with it, right? So now it's an established town, right? Very favorite amongst
all
people.
this sub-regional center is surrounding Junction 8.
Correct. So what they're doing
There's still quite a few plot of land there.
Yeah, they're going to upgrade the location.
So this is the locations, and these are all the future plans.
Yeah, so you see there's going to be new business space, more amenities coming our way. We will have improved pedestrian malls and connectivity, and all this will enhance.
So we call Bishan a sub-regional center.
That's right.
Okay.
So it is, by the time everything falls in place, it will actually match the scale of Paya Lebar Central that we see today. Okay, so let's go to the next area. So the Dover Medway, and Metropolis, which is actually part of an extension of the existing One North Knowledge District, right? And we know there's a lot of high-tech knowledge-based research companies.
Yeah, leading technology, media, and biomedical firms.
It's already a very bustling hub.
Right.
And basically, the government is making an extension to this area into introduction of the Dover Medway.
And plan for a mix of public and private housing.
Yes, correct. So there's been more housing coming into this area, and this area will see an improvement.
Right. In the area filled with knowledge hubs and also innovation, certainly they need a lot of homes.
Yes, correct.
Okay, next.
So the next area is the Paya Lebar Air Base, which they will be vacating from 2030. Not yet.
5 years later.
Yes, 5 years later. Very excited because this will be a very big precinct.
Of course, it will free up 800 hectares of land for redevelopment.
That is huge area.
Is it really a new town?
Yes. What we can expect will be building height restriction will be lifted because the airbase is no longer there, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Actually, this location is in between Hougang and Tampines.
That's right.
So this is really a big estate in the forming.
Yeah. So I think more plans will be unveiled as we draw nearer to 2030 and beyond.
Okay, next one.
So the thing that we talked about earlier, the Sembawang shipyard.
Right.
Again, they are moving out. All right. And we will relocate from 2028.
And check this out. It's going to be a waterfront district.
Well, hard to imagine that this is actually a picture of what Sembawang shipyard area will look like.
It looks like a Jurong Lake.
Yeah, even better. Yeah, it looks like real waterfront housing, right? So that will free up quite a lot of space and a very interesting housing coming your way. So, but this is a longer term thing. Again, they only vacate from 2028.
It's not known how many units of public and private housing
but conceptually, it looks very interesting.
Okay, what about the former
this is Kranji area. Kranji area, as we know it today, is very green, very near to all the nature parks.
It's like where the farmers are.
And the nature reserve.
Okay, so agricultural land.
Yes. So this is a very long-term thing.
Timeline yet to announce?
Yet to announce, but plans for more residential in this area.
Okay, so as you can see over the past master plans, government always talk about decentralization strategy, which is to develop regional centers.
Correct.
So just now we see Bishan is sub-regional centers, and Jurong is also a regional center, Woodland also regional center, and in the east, Tampines regional center, and Central.
Yeah.
Okay, so with all these in mind, decentralization, has it been very successful?
I think it is, because previously we only had one CBD and now we have many regional centers.
Actually, do you know when all this strategy was announced? It was announced in 1991.
Yeah.
And for a good 30 years or more than 30 years, there is many changes in all these regional centers. All right. Having said that, property prices in all the decentralized location has also grown a lot.
That's right.
So that's why you see that the OCR prices, new launches now have hit more than $2,000 PSF,
Easily.
and is still growing.
Yes.
And as it also means that RCR prices have also gone up, the city fringe prices have also gone up. So much so that because of decentralization, do you know, it really makes central property actually very cheap.
Yeah.
If you look at the next
Yeah.
slides that we have just prepared, is the effect of decentralization is actually conversion of prices between CCR, RCR, and OCR.
Yeah.
Okay, well, these are the price gap. I used to have a wider price gap 10 years ago. For example, CCR versus RCR is 564. Right now, it's only 358 PSF. All right, CCR versus OCR used to be 870. Right now, the price gap is 996. And RCR and OCR used to be 306. Right now is 638. As we want to take a look here is the divergence actually has come to a point where new sales, this is only new launch, not resale. So the new sales have come to a point where RCR and OCR is so close.
Yes.
Even OCR is also converting, all right, towards RCR prices. This means the central property becoming more attractive. But what is government doing in central location?
I think in the recent years, we can notice that there is a shift, right? They spent a lot of time over the last years to develop all the regional centers. But now I think the government is starting to pay a lot more attention back to the city center.
All right. So, well, if we take a look over the last 5 years from
June 2021
all the way till now, June 2025, there are many focus in central location. All right. As early as
June
2021, URA have announced improvement on district like Clarke Quay, Boat Quay, and also Robertson Quay.
Yes.
And then Clarke Quay also undergone a 62 million enhancement initiative 1 year later in 2022. Then in 2023, we witnessed Marina South Plans Guideline finalized by URA, followed by the URA announcement of Turf City and Pearl Hill development.
Yeah.
And then in 2024, last year, there were plans announced for MBS Tower 4 and Entertainment Center. And also URA rejuvenization plan of Orchard Road and Marina Bay, all right, followed by the announcement of Robertson Walk redevelopment. And this year alone, in CCR, there is the Extension CBD Incentive Scheme and Strategic Incentive Scheme, and also Draft Master Plan 2025 that highlights new home in Newton and Patterson.
Yes.
What this means is, I smell opportunity in city center.
That's right.
It's like its price is attractive because the price disparity between RCR and CCR is so close. Isn't it better to own a CCR home?
Yes, correct.
All right. Next is many infrastructure upgradings and community buildings is forming up in city center, which means after the decentralized, now the plans is coming back to centralized. Okay, and if it comes back to centralized, I think in a bigger way, it will certainly helps in maintaining the price growth in the central region. So Eugene, what are the upcoming launches in Q3 to look out for?
Wow, we have exciting times in the third quarter. So there are quite a few launches coming on stream.
And they are all in the areas of growth,
That's
which
right.
we just explained
That's right.
earlier.
So we have one project in the CCR, I put that in red, that's River Green, right? 524 units. And not too far away will be Promenade Peak.
All right, nearby,
and
RCR.
RCR. And then we
There are
also have
596 units.
596 units. And we have, if you like freehold, we have an Artisan 8.
Artisan is very near to Shunfu.
Shunfu area, right? So it's a niche development,
Okay.
freehold. And then in the OCR region, we have two projects, Canberra Crescent Residences. In fact, preview is starting this weekend,
Okay.
right, for Canberra. and there's 376 units. And then Springleaf Residences will be just
Springleaf Residence in
somewhere in the
OCR.
third quarter. Yeah,
Okay.
I think pending approval.
Yeah, something for you to look out for.
Yes.
All right, last but not least, I will be sharing with you guys more on our ERA upcoming Ultimate Consumer Seminar. I would like to invite you to attend for Springleaf Residences. Okay, we'll be talking about 2025 games changes. Will you ride the wave or miss the boats? That will be happening on 5th August, 7 p.m. at Springleaf Residence Show Flat. Then on the 25th of July, 7 p.m., stay tuned. There will be a ERA Ultimate Consumer Seminar at Canberra Crescent Residences. Beat the system, the ideal advantage of a safe entry price. And that's all for our Realty Talk today.
That's right. That's right. Thank you for joining us today, and do leave us feedback. And till our next Realty Talk, see you again soon.
See you guys.
What a powerful session! Thank you, Marcus and Eugene, for those sharp and forward-looking insights. Thank you, everyone, for joining us once again on Realty Talk. We will see you at the next Ultimate Consumer Seminar. Until then, keep learning, keep investing smart, and keep building your future with ERA.